man, Mother Teresa talked to us so much about her passion, but it was not just an idea. It was compelled passion that literally saved hundreds of thousands of people. And her intention was not to have some miraculous healing power when it came to a medical diagnosis or a medical ability. It was not through some miracle where all of these people with who were lepers were healed. That wasn't even her intention. Her intention was love. And out of love and very, very limited resources. So if you're in a space where you're like, I can't do it because I don't have money. Y'all, I'm so grateful that I read that book or listened. I'm an Audible listener. I listened to that when I did, because I'm completely transparent in the fact that, like, yeah, I have abundant energy, all from God. I have what feels like limited time, but I spend my time wisely and intentionally, not in a state of hustle or busy. And when I do, I feel it fast, that overwhelm, that friction. I'm like, oh, I gotta stop. But if we can get into these rhythms of grace and we can realize that the resources we think we don't have, we actually, in fact, possess because God has it. This is a piece of faith in action, right? You cannot know. My dog is stuck in the doggy door, so you see me keep looking over. Just jump, baby. Just jump. Why are you afraid? I can't get you. You're going to have to jump. You got what it takes. I'm preaching to my puppy. Go, girl, go. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Yay. All right, good girl. Her little tail's wagging. I hope she doesn't come over to the bell time now. Sweet baby. Anyway, it's understanding that we have what we need. Just like Mother Teresa, who had zero idea how she was going to be able to go to the nations. How many of you guys want to go to the nations? Remembering nations is just ethnicity. It's a place. We are all under one ethnic group, and there are many nations under the ethnic group. And so we're here in this space. Your community is a nation. Okay? You're the place in which you go to work as a nation. And yet we're meant to go more. So she knows that she's meant to go global. And I feel this way. I feel this like so heavy on my heart, and like the heaviness and again that pressure connected to pearlization, not the heaviness affected to grief or worry, or even though it feels cumbersome sometimes, I know that I know that I know. So there's peace connected to the heaviness. Does that make sense? Makes sense. And drop in the chat peace. Say peace that transcends all understanding. So Mother Teresa had zero resources, and her poverty mentality was not attached to a lack mentality. Okay, so majority of people who have poverty mindset are people who believe that they don't have enough. There are people who believe that they have limited resources always. They don't have enough money, they don't have enough energy, they don't have access, insert any type, they don't have health, right? Insert anything that you think you need in order to quote unquote achieve or live a life of fulfillment or fullness. And ultimately it comes back to the fact that you actually have breath. Yahweh, literally Yahweh is the thing that you need. Jesus is all that you need. And when you put your intentionality in him, and he has unlimited resources and riches that are greater than anything here on earth, he makes a way. And so Mother Teresa just said yes. That's all she did. She said yes. And door by door, nation by nation, city by city, access point by access point, relationship by relationship. And that's the key of it all, is relationships are the outcome of something of intentional action associated to love. It's true, and it's proof, because those biblically who do not propel love, and they propel angst or confusion, all things of the enemy, they end up severing their connection to God, and they end up existing in a place of sorrow, anxiety, grief. Now, I'm not saying that if you're experiencing grief or you're experiencing anxiety, that you're not connected to the Lord. I would question how connected, as far as the first intentional connection point, you are with Christ. Understanding that we live in a body, we live in this sin-filled space, but I think even in grief, there is abundant joy. Even in worry, though it says do not worry 365 times in the Bible, with intention, because yesterday's worries are a thing of itself. Tomorrow's worries will exist. So if we can focus on today, consecrate our days today to the Lord, that worry can be rid. But let's talk about Samuel, okay? I gave you a little snippet from John. It was connected to the conversation about the lame man. And I think we've talked a lot about the lame man, but for some reason, I keep getting like revelation associated to parenthood and mothering. And this past weekend, I had an awesome opportunity to fly in after our conference on Friday and Saturday with Triggered for Purpose, which was incredibly overflowing and intimate, right? Like, first off, let's go there. Stop focusing on the numbers. Mother Teresa says this. She said, focus on the one. She served hundreds of thousands of people by focusing on the one. We know Christ does this. He leaves the 99 for the one. He left 99 for me. I'm sure he left 99 for you. And so one by one, we count. And so that experience was so intimate, so beautiful. You saw one by one people coming to the altar in God's own timing with them. His own summoning. When I speak to you all, and I get on this bike, or I get on an interview, or I get on a stage, it doesn't matter what it is that I'm doing. My process and my heart connected to it is, God, don't hear me. Don't see me. God, just see you. Just see you and know that it's for the one person, the transformation of the one. I heard this yesterday by my friend Austin Blanchfield. He was on my podcast. Incredible man of God, amazing teacher and trainer associated to creating impact and influence on Instagram. And he talked about how Jesus is the only one who transforms, but it's this knowing that man deforms and Jesus reforms. And I was like, come on. So God is the creator, and there was a specific word, God is the former. He forms us in his image. So we've got the former, the one and only. Then we've got the deformer, which is man, which is sin. And then we've got the reformer, which is Christ. And I thought, what? Simplicity is the gospel. Love is the gospel. Connection, submission, surrender. Understanding that our heart laid down makes our eyes alive in a different way. Because otherwise, if your heart is ignited considering all the things that your eyes are seeing, your mind is thinking, your ears are hearing, what's coming out of your mind, of your mouth, right? If you focus on the things that are above your head and you're not sunk into your spirit and your heart, you will be deceived.